Welcome to Redefining Tinnitus. Our goal is to provide education, practical tools, and strategies, along with hope, to those out there dealing with tinnitus in their lives. Let's get started with a quick introduction to tinnitus. What is tinnitus? Tinnitus is a noise that is heard in the head that does not have a source outside the body. It can be described as a phantom sound. Tinnitus can take on so many shapes. For some, they will describe it as ringing, hissing, buzzing, or whooshing. Others will describe it as a more complex sound, like mumbling people way off in the distance, or even something unique, like a calliope. The experience of tinnitus is unique for each person. It can vary tremendously in terms of volume, pitch, quality, and impact on a person's quality of life. Tinnitus, or tinnitus, are two pronunciations that are often heard. Both are correct according to the American Tinnitus Association, or the ATA. The ATA is a wonderful resource for many people who are experiencing tinnitus and wanting to learn more and understand it better. Tinnitus is very common and affects millions of people worldwide. In the United States, an estimated 50 million people experience this daily. You are not alone if you experience tinnitus. Of that group, about 20% will seek out help from a medical professional. These medical professionals may include their primary care physician, an ear, nose, and throat doctor known as an otolaryngologist, a chiropractor, a psychologist, or an audiologist. An audiologist is a person who specializes in evaluating and treating disorders of hearing and balance. They can be very helpful in learning how to manage your experience of tinnitus and are an excellent entry point into managing your tinnitus. Tinnitus is commonly associated with both hearing loss and stress. Many people who have tinnitus also have hearing loss. So this video will give a quick lesson about your ears and hearing loss. Our next video will focus a bit on the relationship between stress and tinnitus. Your ear consists of three parts: the outer, the middle, and the inner ear. Each part plays a unique role in getting the sound up to the brain. Let's follow a sound wave through the different sections of the ear. The outer ear is the ear canal to the eardrum. The job of the outer ear is to route that sound into the ear. The ear canal is the channel the sound will follow as it enters into the ear. The ear canal should be relatively clean. There may be wax in it, but hopefully it's not clogging it up completely. As the sound wave enters the ear canal, it hits the eardrum. The eardrum will vibrate with the movement and the pressure of that sound wave. Behind the eardrum is the middle ear space. There are a couple of important parts in this section of the ear. The first thing to note are the three little bones that span that middle ear space. They are called the malleus, incus, and stapes. The other part is the eustachian tube, which helps to regulate the pressure and ventilation of that middle ear space. When the sound wave vibrates the eardrum, it sends that energy to the bones in the middle ear space. Those bones will vibrate with the energy of that sound wave. The last bone in the middle ear space, the stapes, will push that energy to the inner ear. The inner ear is made up of the cochlea, or the organ of hearing, and the semicircular canals, which are a large portion of your balance system. The cochlea is a fluid-filled tube that is lined with small hair cells called cilia. The hair cells are arranged by pitch, like a piano. When the stapes pushes into the cochlea, the fluid moves through the organ and stimulates the hair cells to send a signal to the brain that you've heard a sound. After all that movement through each part of the ear, the brain will then interpret that sound wave and assign meaning to that incoming signal. It's a pretty awesome system. So why is knowing a little bit about how your ear works important to understanding tinnitus better? As we said earlier, tinnitus is commonly associated with hearing loss. When those little hair cells are damaged, they are no longer able to send that full signal up to the brain. Because the brain is missing some auditory information, that absence of sound can make the brain try to fill in those missing parts. That brain activity can be interpreted as tinnitus. This is why when tinnitus is present, a hearing test can be an important and helpful tool to begin to understand your tinnitus more fully. Here's a common example of how to think about tinnitus and hearing loss and the brain. Imagine a dark room with a candle. The only thing you might see and focus on is that candle. The candle will be fairly bright when there is nothing else to focus on. If you think about the lack of information to the brain due to that damage in the ear, it's like the candle in the dark. The information from the brain itself, or the tinnitus, might be what your brain begins to focus on. Often hearing aids will be recommended to support the brain with both hearing loss and tinnitus. When properly fit hearing aids are worn, you may notice your tinnitus isn't as noticeable. It's often a lovely side effect of hearing better. Let's go back to our analogy. If we carry that candle into a bright and well-lit room, all of a sudden, that candle does not seem as bright. With properly fit hearing aids used regularly, not only will your brain get a more complete picture of sound, those hearing devices can help your brain learn how to focus on the other sounds since it now has better access to it. If you haven't already, please make sure to get a complete hearing evaluation if you are experiencing tinnitus. Thanks for watching. At Redefining Tinnitus, we hope this information was helpful to you.